Part of the NVIDIA Podcast Network.
No, not that.
Part of Couch Empire.
No.
Part of the 7-Eleven Snack Pack.
Close, but no.
Part of Big League Chew Listeners Club.
Oh, well, no.
Part of I Love Sound Waves.
What does that even mean?
Part of Neil Before Pod.
Like Neil Diamond?
Part of Beanbag Best Friends.
I guess so.
Part of Konami Kuke Ha Club.
Yeah, we made some good tunes.
Part of Warlord Audio.
Okay.
Part of the Fred Meyer Buyer Crew.
No, I think it was like Buyers Club or like Members Club or something.
Part of the Carvel Collective.
You know, I never had that before, but if I get free ice cream, it's good.
Part of Mitch and Murray.
Oh, no.
Part of the No Mo Wo Pocket No Wo.
Take that again.
Part of the No Mo Wo Pocket No Wo.
No, you're gonna have to do it again.
It's part of the
bit.
Part of this balanced breakfast.
Ooh, I get milk and orange juice.
All right, so we have to decide on one by Monday.
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay. We have to sign all the agreements and things. Okay.
Yes. Wait, no. Did you sign all of them?
Well, yeah, I thought that's what you meant.
No!
It's No More Whoppers. Welcome to the show, everybody. My name is Ray Barnholt, the co-host of No More Whoppers. That's the Italian one. Don't forget that. And with me, as always, sewer shark Alex Fraioli.
I'm grainy and I'm coming at you.
Yeah. Right into the wall.
That's right.
Well, Alex, hello. How are you doing?
Hi. I'm great. How are you?
Good to see you in a new month.
You can't see me. This is audio.
See, quote unquote. Like talk to,
right,
interact with.
Oh, like dating?
English is very fluid. Let's not try and let's not chain ourselves down to any one definition.
All right. Fine.
All right. Well, as you, the listener, may have noticed at the beginning of this show, and actually the beginning of last episode as well, you may have noticed the lack of the old ident that we had. Not the bit Alex just did, the old thing that we did. And so that means we are no longer on any sort of podcast network or team or group or anything.
We're free agents, baby.
Yes. Well, the third time was not a charm for us.
No.
It started off a couple years ago, right? And we were invited to these networks by our friends. And maybe we weren't promised, but definitely strongly suggested that we can make a little bit of money based on sponsorship deals for these things. And all you have to do is insert some ads like we've seen in a million other commercial podcasts. And so we just signed up for that and did it. And it just didn't work out like at all. We did get paid once or twice, like the second time around. But the first and third times, just nothing happened. And so we're just like, well, if from my perspective, a lot of this is going to come from my perspective. Please, Alex, chime in whenever you want. But
I love chiming.
I was just thinking well, we're kind of here because we expect other people to take care of it. And if it's not being taken care of, I don't know what else to do. So it's just kind of
yeah, there's this kind of tacit understanding if you join a podcast network, and this is not necessarily a criticism of the ones we joined. It's just
yeah. Well, let me say that first. To be clear, we're not upset or mad at our friends or anything, because the ones that we talked to that got us into this stuff, they weren't really in charge, just part of the process that, was not the processing.
Going in, my mindset was, okay, we have one job, and that is bring the content, do the show, put in the ads, and, someone who's running this thing will take care of the rest, like finding sponsors, etc. And that just kind of never happened.
Yeah. It was a strangely identical situation all three times of yeah, we got plans for you. Big plans. Wait to hear about these plans. These are plans that will move mountains. Just you wait. And then it's like a year goes by and nothing. And then we hear, oh yeah, they're not doing that anymore.
What's okay? Wait, what's the grand total that we got from all three networks from greenlit onwards? Do we have a running tally?
Oh gosh, I have to go back through the coffers there, because now we're getting into real inside baseball, so I don't really know. It was not a triple digit figure. I'll say that.
There we go. That's all I wanted to know.
Yeah. So
outstanding.
Yeah. So we just decided to go it alone once again, and so No More Whoppers is, like Alex said, a free agent. Now, what is so funny, I think, about all three of these attempts at networks is that they were only able to sell headsets.
And I guess that's just the gamer thing. That's what you sell to gamers.
I mean, okay, but look at the other shows that were joining us, and it's like, we were poison, I'm sure. I mean, yeah. This last go around,
I don't think that we were a good fit for any of those networks.
I mean, think about it. This last time, it's us and like a podcast about Nintendo news and another one about N64 games. Like, no one on these shows is talking
N64 news.
No shade, of course, but I'm saying, my point is, no one's talking a lot about Valorant and how much they love talking on comms with their crew on these podcasts.
That's true.
So where is the relevant stuff coming in? I mean, you think about the kind of company that we were keeping, and it's like, why not try and get like some deals with somebody like, I don't know, Fangamer, or even like a board game company, or the people who made the ocarinas in the back of Nintendo Power, like something, right?
Dunkin' Donuts?
Yeah. And it only
Fangamer would have been a great one.
Yeah, exactly.
I had the guy. I had the founder of Fangamer at the bar last year. I should have asked him.
The founder, yes.
I actually I forget, or president or CEO or whatever his title is. He's a very, very nice guy, but I had to hide. I have a papyrus doll from Fangamer as an ornament in the bar, and I had to hide it when he showed up because it was so smoke and nicotine stained over from the years of smoke that it was just orange.
All right. Well, I'm sure.
And I felt so embarrassed having it out.
I'm sure he's seen worse. You know, they got to put those things through testing.
I doubt it. No, that would have been the worst papyrus I believe he would have ever seen.
Okay, fine. Expert opinion, you know.
Thank you.
This last network was based in Japan and wanted to have like Japan-based podcasts, and so we fed half of that profile. But like, again, they were trying to get, or wanted to get, brand deals from companies that were in Japan, but also like Japanese arms of bigger companies from the US or wherever. I'm like, well, geez, you know, again, you could have got some nice gamer stuff that's not just headsets. Like, you know what? I saw this furniture company on Amazon Japan called Miyatake, and they have a line of furniture called Regabo. And Alex, go ahead.
Okay. Regabo?
Yeah.
All right.
And it's all stuff that's custom made for storing game consoles. And it looks like real furniture, and it's not jet black RGB light bullshit. Like, it's normal stuff for normal millennials, like most of the people doing podcasts on your network. So I could never.
That's us. Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. Wait, can I do one more?
Go ahead. Yes.
Okay. Look, Smithers, Regabo is coming.
Very good.
All right. Thank you.
Anyway, check those out on Amazon.
You know, I was almost in the market for more furniture, and then it turns out I'm going to be taking home some furniture from the bar. More on that later.
Okay. Yes, indeed.
Big news is afoot.
Don't spoil anything. My goodness.
I announced it on co-host a week ago. It's fine. See, here's the problem. Nobody reads co-host.
Yeah, no, that's your problem.
Or my co-host, rather. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but for No More Whoppers, and I think most of our compatriots on those networks, and I do say this with the utmost respect, like, we're just low budget hacks, and we're not going to get big brand deals for these kind of like 2-bit shows, I think, which is good because that's what podcasting was founded on and what podcasting still needs, in my opinion. But on the other hand, if you got a company and you want to rise above the low budget hackery and you want sponsors for podcasts, I think that we've seen it kind of helps if the network has like personalities to it, like established, already popular people who can put butts in seats, you know what I mean? Or ears in seats.
Oh, yeah.
Ears in cups.
Put ears in seat. That's a good term for podcasting.
Stop me at any point. Anyway.
I will not.
And the ones that really work I've been the ones with comedians, because comedians need to build audiences and it's part of their jobs. And they go on and they do their podcasts and they advertise barbecue grills or dick pills or whatever. But, at least it's more than one company and more than one product. And it's not headset X from company Y for a year straight because the gamer network can't get anything. So I'm just like, because you've signed on No More Whoppers and I see what we talk about Dragon Quest. Thanks and goodbye.
We sure do.
There
was a conversation about this on Never Not Funny recently about the newest generation of comedians is leaning so hard into TikTok, and they're doing stand-up shows for the purpose of having them recorded and then uploaded as a TikTok because they get more exposure there than they do on that stage.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Which is wild. Yeah.
That definitely ties into what I just said. Like, they need to build audiences as part of their job and they need to go on the road and stuff, but also like they need to be wherever the buzz is.
Yeah.
And that's not going to be always a podcast. Like, they'll be a guest on a podcast, sure, but they also need to go on TikTok and promote themselves because that's part of the expectation of their livelihood.
Because even if you are selling out the Chuckle Hut in Des Moines, that's still only, 50, 60 people.
Yeah.
But if you put that on TikTok, that's thousands of people.
So we're not comedians. We're not road comics. We don't do that sort of stuff year in, year out. So I think for scrappier outfits like us, if we, not necessarily us, but if someone wanted to put together a group, then I think like the donation model is the way to go. Like, not necessarily just Patreon, but that's fine. But more specifically, what I'm thinking of is like what Jesse Thorne and Maximum Fun figured out like a long time ago.
Yeah.
Like, keep supporting us. We'll do donation drives, make it worth your while, and give us extra money if you want. And you can give us even more money if you want to advertise something, a bit at a time. And so that kind of worked out for them because they were a smaller outfit.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah.
And their purview, they have a variety of shows for sure, but nothing that screams like, oh, let's get fucking Heinz ketchup to sponsor us. That's going to work. Like, no. Or the gamer headsets, that's not going to apply to every single Maximum Fun show. So what are you doing? Like, can you get like one more deal? Yeah. That's what I was wondering in the back of my head a lot.
Yeah.
So I think that model works. Patreon's good, of course, but I think if you do like a group, something where it's like more of a donation drive centered sort of thing, it makes more sense, I would say, if you want to like sustain yourselves and get everybody paid one way or another.
Yeah, I would like to know how that money is divided up, because I know Maximum Fun does that. Like when you donate, a portion of it goes to the network as a whole, and then you can also designate some of it to go towards specific show. Like when I used to donate, I would always specify, well, Stop Podcasting Yourself is my favorite show on that network. I'd like those guys to get a little bit extra money.
Yeah.
But I don't know exactly how that works. We're just one show. We're not a part of anything yet. But yeah, I think like you said, the Patreon model for us works. But if we were to, I don't know. I mentioned it in the intro, the No Mo Pakanewo.
Well,
if that materializes and we get a stable of shows, who knows where we could go?
We have it sort of. On our Patreon bonus shows, I put in the corner a new logo I made for No Mo Woko.
Oh yeah,
that's my network name idea.
Cool.
And so
it's just shorter than No Mo Pakanewo.
A little bit,
slightly,
just a little bit. So we can go with that at some point. We had our 3 tries; it didn't work out. I would say though, if anyone else out there finds themselves with a similar opportunity, they have a podcast, maybe some other creative thing that they get invited into, some new venture where the entire thing relies on sponsorship for you getting paid, like race car driver, any of those in our audience? Hello?
I'm pretty sure we have some Andretti's listening.
Right. I just want to say the one piece of advice I can give, just ask for an outline. Ask for a roadmap. Yeah. Get an idea of what they have lined up right now and what they're going to line up over the next year. Because if all they got is basically a maybe from one company, all they can do is pass that maybe on to you. And then everyone else in the group is just left waiting. Because there's also the thing where the network isn't going to tell you when they're fucking up. You have to be a co-founder or on the board basically to get an idea what's going on, it feels like. So you have to be a little bit more proactive and ask people what is going on all the time. And if they're not delivering, then you kind of have your answers, I think, coming into fruition in front of you, and you can make a decision from there.
Yeah. Generally, if a network is pitched to you, a podcaster, and the last two steps are question mark, question mark, question mark, and then profit, just walk away.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, that's really all I wanted to say myself. Again, we're just free agents.
That's right.
We didn't have the greatest time, but again, we're not mad at anyone necessarily. We're just kind of disappointed because, like, again, we were just sitting around waiting for something to come in because that's what we were kind of told to do. Like,
yeah,
we didn't have any other duties ahead of us other than to make promos and send in our numbers, our stats. And that was the deal pretty much the entire way. And no one really bugged us that much to make new promos even. It was like 1 year straight of the same promo that we make. By the way, they're hard to make. For No More Walkers, we've tried very hard to be very different from every other podcast promo that you hear, either real and commercial or not, where it's just, the two hosts laughing at each other.
Yeah, because even the podcasts that I love, my favorite podcasts have the shittiest promos. Like, it's very difficult to make a good podcast promo.
On Never Not Funny, they were running the one with Tig Notaro and Cheryl Hines.
Oh yeah,
and it's just them like giggling at each other. I'm like, is this 2009? Like, what am I listening to?
See,
this is just the basic shit. Like, nobody knows how to make a podcast, even though you keep making them.
But it appealed to me because I like Tig Notaro, but it still didn't make me listen to the show. It was just like, I get to hear Tig laugh. That makes me smile while I'm washing the dishes, waiting for Jimmy Pardo to come back.
I just have a personal problem with all the base level podcast promos that are just the host giggling at themselves.
Well, I think when a facet of your show is it's me and a friend having fun, it's not out of place. But yeah, it should not be.
I guess not out of place, but you have to realize there are a lot of other podcasts like that and have done the same thing you have. Perhaps try.
Yeah, there's a lot of just very low effort. And I don't know, maybe I think that's something that needs to be taught in, like, I don't know, podcast school. That has to exist by now, right?
Maybe. I mean,
how to make a promo.
Yeah, it's a larger problem I have just with the fact that, like, there's a lot of people like me, for example, maybe you, the kind of kids who would make fake radio shows on a tape recorder.
I used to do that.
That's the sort of thing. Yes, that's the sort of thing I did.
I used to do that with Smoo.
Yeah, exactly. And I had an ear for that from listening to the radio and watching TV shows and stuff. And it's not like I became a broadcaster, but I had some inkling of how a broadcast is, like, formatted and works and how people speak and everything. And then there's the other half of the podcast creation group where people don't have any of that. And they're just put in front of a mic and they think, well, this is like my job now. And I don't have any idea of what a radio show sounds like. Even though I've listened to the radio before, maybe it doesn't enter this person's head. And so they just don't have the chops, I guess.
It's a lot. Yeah. It's a lot less prevalent now, but when podcasts were new, a good chunk of the nerd-based content, a lot of people were trying to affect, like, radio voice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, everyone's talking like this. Welcome to RPG radio. Like, that kind of bullshit. Not talking like a natural human being.
Well, at least that's fun. Like,
for 5 seconds.
And in some ways, like, that is an example of what I would have liked, like, objectively, which is like, yeah, you're trying to sound like a professional thing. But at some point that just went away when we got a whole lot more amateurs into it.
Yeah, what I'm saying is it's the surface level of a professional thing. You're not
superficially
doing the work to actually, like, there's no other production value other than, I think this is what a radio host sounds like.
Yes, you still have to do some extra work in, like, sound beds and things. Like,
yeah. Man. Hang on a sec. I played both of those at the same time. Right. Jesus.
Nintendo is doing something about it.
Nintendo's on their way, buddy. Hang on a sec. I'll be right back. I just printed something out that's relevant.
Okay.
I mean, not now, but... Yeah,
oh.
Okay. Hey, hi, I'm back.
Hello.
All right. So, preface, I recently bought a printer. Jealous? Don't be.
It's the same one I bought.
Guy. Shut up. Yeah, it's really good. So I did my Pixel video on YouTube last year, and I got a comment from listener of the show, Variah Carey, which is an incredible username.
Uh-huh.
She said, have you read Scott McCloud's Understanding Comics? And it's a book I'd been meaning to read for like the past 20 years and never had.
Yeah, that's one of those books.
Yeah, and then just discovered, it's just on archive.org. So I just downloaded it, read it on my iPad over a week, and it's great. But there's 2 pages in particular that I printed out and stuck on my wall where he talks about the 6 steps of the creative process, going from idea to form to idiom to structure to craft to surface, and how
idioms.
Yes, and how a lot of stuff that gets, when somebody sees something and is inspired by something like, I want to make something like that, they kind of only stick to the first 1 or 2 or maybe 3 outer layers.
Yeah,
which is structure, craft, and surface. So like you're really only doing a superficial job and not analyzing what it is underneath all of that makes that thing work.
Right.
And it's something that I, first of all, printed out, copied from the book and then printed out and stuck on my wall to remind me, hey, you can make shit that looks nice, but it has to have something underneath.
Yep.
There has to be a core of content. And not just, I know how to mimic a professional. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And I feel like that was a lot of early podcasting was, this is what I'm supposed to sound like, so I guess this is a podcast. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's my thing.
I can't say I haven't done it because I have, but.
We've all, yes, of course. That was me and my, a guy I knew here in Nagoya. Our first podcast was very much that. It was very much just, I'm pretty sure this is what it's supposed to sound like. So, I'm a podcaster now.
You're supposed to talk about Apple products.
Oh, boy.
You guys are okay now, though.
Yes. I think he moved back to America. I don't know.
All right.
It's unknown. I was invited to a going away party for him.
Oh.
No, I was told I was going to be invited to a going away party for him, and that was 4 years ago.
I see. Okay.
But it's also possible that the party just didn't happen because it was also during the pandemic.
Oh, sure, of course. Yeah.
Like the height of the pandemic, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, 4 years ago. That would be, that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
What were we talking about? Oh, yeah.
Podcasting.
Yeah.
Broadcast. Yes.
Broad and pod.
To paraphrase UHF, there's no pods in podcasting.
Sure. Again, I had nothing else to say about the network stuff other than we're free now. So you won't hear
it's fine.
Any sorts of promos or ads for the foreseeable future until, something miraculous comes along again. And we actually have someone who says, hey, we got this deal lined up. We got this much money coming in. You want in? And we'll say yes. Now, of course, that is unlikely at this point, but we'll see.
All right.
Cool.
Let's keep it going.
Okay.
Keep the No Mobo train rolling.
Okay, go.
Crap. Oh, content. This is always death.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, no, I do have a. Hang on, I want to hit you. I want to hit you with a multiple. I want to hit you. First of all, I want to pummel you to death. No. This is no. I want to hit you with a question.
Yeah.
This is a new segment called "What Did Alex Do?"
All right.
So
great.
I went into the convenience store last week. I go every day before work, usually to get a thing of iced coffee and maybe a little snack.
Sounds
to
good.
munch on at work.
Jealous.
And I go in there with my bag. I have a little tote bag that I carry with me all the time. And I go to the back where the coffee is, and I find the coffee that I like, and I pick it up off of the thing, and I, instead of carrying it with me, I absentmindedly drop it into my tote bag.
Okay. Yeah. That's
And then I immediately realize, it looks like I'm shoplifting this.
Right.
So I want you to tell me, what did Alex do?
I see.
Okay. So, A, leave the store and steal the coffee. B, take the coffee back out of the bag and then put it back on the shelf.
Uh-huh.
Or C, make a big show out of freaking out, pulling the coffee out of the bag, looking up at the security camera, doing a big comical shrug, and mouthing the word, why?
Okay.
What? What did Alex do?
That's a stumper. I'm going to have to go with C.
You are correct.
All right, great.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Why did you feel the need?
I don't know. Just in case that footage was used for anything incriminating, I wanted them to know I realized what I did, so I looked up and I said why, as in, can you believe it? Why would I do this? Anyway, I'm gonna go pay for this legitimately now.
Just imagining it in my head. It's like you're doing Tekken ending motion capture. Just like the most over-exaggerated motions to like make sure we all get what's going on.
I did. Yeah, I'm in talks with Minoru Suzuki to mocap me for that scene.
Fantastic.
Oh man,
wow,
pretty great. Yeah, good stuff.
That's good stuff. And I get the feeling you probably wouldn't do that in America.
No,
like if the same thing happened to you in America, you'd be more like answer A, I think.
Yeah, no, B.
Oh, or B, whatever the subtle one was. Yeah.
Yeah, B, like a rational human being.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Fantastic. Well, that's been our new segment. Thanks a lot. Can't wait for next time.
Oh, boy.
See what happens.
Okay, wait, though. Here's a new segment called What Will Alex Do?
Okay.
And the answer is we're shutting down the bar.
Oh, my goodness. Oh.
Yeah, that's the big news. It's definitely decided.
Wrong music, but continue.
What? No, Ray, that's the beauty of this format. There is no wrong music.
Okay, true enough. Yeah.
That's great.
There's only one way out.
Oh
wait, here's a better ending song. No? Okay.
Okay.
Please
well, I think
continue.
it's more like
yeah,
because I'm going on vacation.
You're salsa-ing out the door.
That's right. No, I am. So I made a big old co-posts about this last week, basically laying out the 4 reasons for me wanting to close the bar. And number 1 was the ACCS, because the whole copyright thing has never gone away.
Okay, so just to recap, the ACCS was like the copyright body that had previously. They had shut down game bars before.
Yes, the Association for the Copyright of Computer Software is, for some reason, an arm of the Japanese Ministry of Education, and they would step in and shut down video game bars and arrest people.
We got to educate people to not copy that floppy.
Yeah. And as far as I know, that's just not gone away. I've just learned to not think about it.
Sure.
But it's there.
But you made your move.
I did, yeah.
Which was to change it to a store.
Yes.
Change bar to store.
But again, I don't know if that's working. I don't know if that's working or if they just don't know about me, you know?
No, yeah, of course.
So number 2 is the IRS wants $12,000 from me, which I think I mentioned last time.
All right, now to
that's
recap,
ongoing.
That's the Internal Revenue Service.
Okay, I don't want to talk about it.
Sorry.
Number 3 is like the business never really properly recovered after the pandemic. I lost a lot of my local English teachers who were not only regular customers, they were also my word of mouth. They would tell the new English teachers that came in.
Yeah, we discussed that for sure. Yeah. Well, that was crazy.
A huge chunk of that workforce was just completely replaced in the course of a year. So I lost a lot of my word of mouth, which was all I had to go on, really.
Yeah.
I've been getting more and more Japanese customers, though, which is good, but it's not quite enough. It also doesn't help that the current young generation of Japanese people don't drink that much. They don't drink as much as the older generations.
Oh, those damn Gen Zs.
And number 4 is just, I'm tired. I just don't want to do this anymore. I'm a loaf. I'm a loaf. I'm not a loaf. But one of the reasons I started drinking so hard back in the day was to counteract the social anxiety. And now that I'm not doing that, it's back and just is kind of always there.
Right. That's
which means I just don't really want to deal with people that I don't know. I like hanging out with friends. Certainly they're fun, but yeah, it's just getting uncomfortable. And also Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays are so dead. That's why I close at 9 p.m. now, because nobody's fucking there. And I hate standing there all night, receiving text messages from my wife every hour that are like, almost done with work, going home from work, eating dinner, getting in the shower, good night. And it was just sad.
Maybe you should have been on TikTok. You should have live streamed from your bar and just talk to people and be one of those.
Everybody recommends that. Everybody says you should set up a camera in the corner and like live stream from your bar. And I don't know. I don't like that. I don't know why.
Fair enough. But you could be one of those NPC characters on TikTok. You act like an NPC in a video game and do, like canned motions and things when people give you gifts on the stream. It's very depressing.
Is it cool if I don't do that?
Yeah, you're too old.
Okay. Hey, yeah, I guess. So those are the 4 reasons outlined in my blog post. There was
Right.
there is a 5th reason, which was the catalyst for the whole thing.
Ooh, secret 5th reason.
Which, I've told you about it. The 4 reasons I outlined in the blog post they were always there, and I'd been learning to live with them. Like, well, these 4 things really suck, but I'm gonna soldier on because this is my project and this is what I do.
Right. Okay. Now hold on.
Uh-huh.
Let's go ahead. Let's guess now what the 5th thing is. Everybody, is it this?
I love being hairless.
Is it?
I love Giuseppe.
Is it?
Air circulation.
Or is it?
Dragon Quest poetry.
Phone in your answers now on the keypads in front of you.
Those are my 4 loves, so you gotta pick one.
Who will it be? The torch runner, kangaroo, nudges man, or the enlistment? We'll find out in a moment.
Wait, none of those is the right answer.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so the secret 5th reason is it has to do with the fact that we transferred ownership of the company over to my wife at the end of last year.
Right.
Because I no longer want to have to worry about IRS shit going forward. So from 2024 onward, I have nothing to do with the company, which is great.
Yeah.
Now, unrelated to any of my problems, my wife has had a plan to quit her job in April, because in April, she will have been paying into her unemployment insurance for 20 years.
Okay.
And when you have been paying into your unemployment insurance for 20 years in Japan, you are entitled to like an extra 2 months of it.
Sounds pretty good.
It is, yeah. So, and I think it would have been like 180 days. So she basically gets like 6 months of unemployment pay.
Yeah, word up.
After paying into the program for 20 years. And she was going to quit in April and then she wasn't going to take the whole 6 months, but she was going to take as long as she needed to relax and look for a new job that she enjoys, because, she hates her job.
Yeah.
And she then finds out that if you are an officer in a company, you cannot collect that money. You cannot collect your unemployment insurance that you have been paying into for 20 years.
Uh-huh.
And it doesn't stop there. If you are an officer in a company for over a year, that money goes bye-bye. That money just disappears into the ether.
Completely disappears.
Yeah.
Like they don't even take it and use it to like build a park or something?
Well, no, I'm sure the government takes it. Like,
Okay.
They're not going to burn it. They don't take it out into the woods and burn it. They make you watch. No, that'd be...
I mean, who knows at
be
this
awful.
point? This already sounds insane.
It is insane. So, yeah, she was freaking out.
Yeah,
And
your individual payments
Yes.
are just become unusable, which is just a crazy thought because, over here we kind of talk about how, I should get unemployment because I pay the taxes to the state or whatever. It's some of my money in that big pool that they're giving to all these unemployed people. I should get some of that, right? That's the idea. That's the suggestion. But the fact that also I know this is not unemployment, the same as what you're talking about, but it's the same.
Yeah,
sort
no,
of thing
this
where
is
it's
an
like,
actual like fund that she has paid into.
Yeah.
It is her money, and she wants it back. And now they're
It's-
saying, "Oh no, we're actually going to get rid of it."
Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah, so that's unacceptable to us. And the only reason I even asked her, "Hey, can we move the company over to your name for to get Uncle Sam off my back?"
Yeah.
I only wanted to do that if there wouldn't be any repercussions for her.
Yeah. We did briefly talk about this in private, and you did sort of say that wasn't fully confirmed yet, that it was the case that if you were an officer for such and such, you'd be.
Oh yeah, it's because it varies by prefecture.
Yeah. Okay.
And she went down to Hello Work, and they confirmed, oh yeah, Aichi does that.
My God. Okay.
Yeah, so that's unacceptable to me and to her, and I do not want that to happen. So we are dissolving the company and also closing the bar. That was the final straw. The final straw. If you really want to blame somebody for closing the bar, it's it's how Japan handles unemployment insurance if you're an officer in a company.
Blame Uncle Sam Murai.
No, it's not. Uncle Sam. Oh man, I was gonna say Uncle Samanosuke.
That works too.
Okay,
that's just as tone deaf.
It's still a decision that came from me. I want to close because I'm just tired, and it's taking so much of my time, money, and energy just to keep it running, just to break even, and it's not worth it anymore, and I don't enjoy it, and I want to spend my time and energy on other things.
Yep.
And I was freaking out because I sat down and I did the math, and my side work has been keeping the bar afloat, but even then it's not like a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So I was kind of freaking out, like, oh, this is not really enough to live on. I mean, it is enough to live on. Like it covers mortgage payments and food and like nothing else.
Right.
For a year. But I have to remind myself that no, dummy, you don't have to be at the bar now every day. You can actually focus on finding more work and getting paid in other ways,
and hopefully paid more.
Hopefully paid more.
Yeah.
The voiceover Facebook group that I'm a part of. It's a voiceover professionals in Japan.
Uh-huh.
So I mentioned a while back I deleted my Facebook account, but I did make a dummy account because I need one to run the bars page and to talk to some friends on Facebook Messenger. And then a woman that I did a voiceover job with last year invited me to join an expat voiceover professionals group on Facebook. And they recently posted a recommended rate guide for all kinds of jobs.
Okay.
And it is very insightful. And I'm going to, try to use that for leverage when, folks contact me to do jobs. I can be like, well, this is the accepted minimum in this industry. So how about this?
Sure. Yeah. That's pretty good.
I
wish more industries, fields would do that.
It's very eye-opening because this group in particular is really fighting to get paid what they deserve, because English voiceover in Japan is very similar to the English like ESL teaching. There's this assumption by most Japanese people that, oh, as long as you're a native speaker, anybody can do it.
Yeah.
And so a lot of voiceover people are paid very, very little. When I first started, I was paid very, very little because I didn't know better. And then the more people I talked to, the more I realized, oh, they should be paying like quadruple this. And it's vastly different than when I started.
Exactly. Jesus Christ. Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of sucks. And every time I try to bring it up with my agency, they always give me this excuse like, oh, well, we're a small company and we can't afford it. And I'm just supposed to accept that, which kind of sucks.
Yeah.
I don't know. I got to get on their ass more.
Well, go ahead then. Get up in
I'll
there.
call them right now.
You getting that ass, Larry?
Moshi Moshi. Money. All right.
Look at him as that.
So that's, yeah. So I will be making up for lost. Well, I mean, I won't be making up for lost income because the bar has been costing me money. I did the math. The bar costs 3 million yen a year, bare minimum costs just to keep running.
That is actually pretty crazy.
Yeah. And that includes everything. That includes the rent, insurance. That includes my accountant's fee for the year, which is expensive.
Just
I'm
ridiculous.
looking forward to not pay him so much every year.
But you scraped by.
Yeah, that's the thing though. I was busting my ass to scrape by, and I
No,
don't want to do that anymore.
No,
You know
I
what
understand. No, but I'm saying you're not literally in debt.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
But my company does have a deficit, and that's what brings me to a potential problem. I don't know, because my accountant won't fucking get back to me about this.
Oh boy, more potentials.
Yeah, right. Because it's tax season, and he's busy.
Yeah.
So I contacted my accountant about closing down the company. He's like, oh, well, you have a large deficit, so there may be an additional cost of maybe 500,000 yen. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
It's like, wait, back up. What's a deficit?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, deficit basically means...
I'm joking. But yes.
On paper, the company is in the red because I was using my own money to fund it when it wasn't succeeding.
Yeah. Yeah.
All the money I made from outside sources, I was funneling into the company to keep it going.
Yeah.
But since the company's income, did not match that, it was, it fell into a deficit.
Oh boy.
Not a debt. Like,
does this sound familiar?
It's not a debt. Like, I don't owe anybody any money, like, except myself. So not really. But it is a deficit. And my accountant's like, well, yeah, if you have a large deficit, so you may have to pay a large fee when you close the company. And I ask him to elaborate, and he's like, I can't. It's tax season. Bye. See you in April. As he is whisked away on a balloon.
For fuck's sake.
And so I have my burner Reddit account for asking embarrassing questions.
Word.
So I go on the Japan finance subreddit, and I'm like, how much does it cost to close down a Godo Gaisha, which is what I have? And someone responded like, okay, well, these are the clerical costs. It costs this, this, and this. So it's approximately 200,000 yen. And I'm like, well, that's not terrible. But what about deficit? My company has a huge deficit. And the response is, why would you have to pay if you have a deficit? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
So now I'm wondering, like, does my accountant just not know the rules, which seems unlikely? Or is he just kind of dumb? I don't know. But I don't know. Somebody on Reddit laid it out very clearly and in a way that seemed to suggest they had a lot of experience talking about this. And They said, no, you don't pay for a deficit, especially if it's just money that you gave yourself.
So ridiculous.
It's dumb. And then I contacted, there's another guy, a scrivener, I'll call him Bartleby, that we used to transfer the company over to my wife. And I'm going to meet with Bartleby next week, and I'm going to get I'm going to, try to confirm that 200,000. Now in a move of serendipity, and this is extremely rare for Japan, and I was not expecting this at all. I got a visit yesterday from the landlord of the bar, because I told him last week I was moving out.
Yeah.
I got a visit from him, and he brought me a form that I have to fill out. It's basically a notification of moving out.
Sure. Yes, of course.
And
I've done it all the time.
On the bottom, there's a field for my bank account. And I'm like, why do you need my bank account information? He's like, oh, because you're getting half your deposit back.
Oh.
I'm like, what? I'm getting a deposit. This is the first time in my life I've ever gotten a deposit back on anything.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, especially in Japan. I had just assumed it was like, oh, your deposit. No, that's basically more key money. You're never seeing that again.
Right. Yeah, that's what I would think. So, okay.
The initial deposit was 400,000 yen. Half of that is 200,000. That would very perfectly cover the cost of closing down the business, which would just be perfect.
No shit. Wow.
But we'll see. Yeah, I still have to decide on a closing date. I'm looking at June 1st as my last day of business, and then just spend a couple of weeks getting shit out of the room.
You couldn't wait till my birthday?
No.
Oh.
No, it's dangerous because if the company exists past June 30th, I'm on the hook for another year of taxes because the bar's fiscal year is July to June.
Okay. Well, my birthday's on the 20th. I'm just saying.
No.
Oh, okay.
Because in Japan, companies can set their own fiscal years.
Well, yes, here too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. See, that's another thing that, like, when a Japanese person explains it to me, they think it's a unique Japanese thing, and so then I do too. Because my
You know.
account explained to me, here in Japan, companies set their own fiscal years, and I'm left thinking, wow, what a unique thing that only Japan does.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure based on the paperwork I've done,
All right, I trust you. You're a business owner.
or at least tax based in the sense that like you can set when you're going to pay all your taxes or something. But I think most people just do it the way they do for civilians, which is just like set it up so that your fiscal year ends on December 31st, and then on April 15th you'll pay taxes.
Cool.
But I yeah, it's possible. Yeah. Well,
So that's the bar development.
yeah. Well, I am, of course, glad that you will be glad
Yes.
to have it all behind you. Of course.
I'm so excited. I am so excited to just take a laptop and walk over to the library and sit in a quiet corner and just type out YouTube scripts all day. That's what I want to do.
Sounds pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I tried to do that at school at the San Jose library, but there's always,
Oh.
the threat of some crazy guy walking up and down the aisle. Or someone else bugging you.
Define crazy guy.
Okay, let's say
Because I'm imagining Crazy Frog, but a man.
any sort of mentally distressed person you might be able to come up with.
It's literally any college student.
Sometimes people who just talk too loud on their phone.
Oh God, yeah.
There was a guy who just listened to something in Japanese on his phone at full volume.
Oh boy.
I don't know if it was a language tutor or what. I never really got a sense of what it was. There was the girl who tried to get me to join the church group.
Oh. Oh boy. I've had one of those.
Yeah. No, thank you.
I'm experiencing a little bit of cultural differences in my building and I guess this neighborhood, because there's a lot. I think they're from Nepal. There's a very big Nepali population in this area,
Okay.
and they have a habit of walking around talking into their phones with them on speakerphone at full volume. Holding your phone in front of you like a Pop-Tart. You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, and I and every Japanese person on the street will kind of give them a look like, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? Please don't do this. Why?
I will
And I
just
see it every
say-
day. I see it every day, and it's starting to get on my nerves.
I will just say it's not
Hi.
limited to those cultures.
No.
It happens in my own house.
Oh no.
Yes. So
Okay.
It's-
Because I don't know what it is, but it's okay. It's misrepresented in my neighborhood as,
yeah,
everyone who's not me or Japanese, I guess.
for sure. That'll magnify it. But go ahead and come back to California. You'll see.
No.
No, I mean to visit.
Oh yes, I'd love to.
You'll see. Yeah. Jeez.
I want you to
don't-
take me to Italy.
Don't jump to no so fast. God, really hurts my feelings.
Take me to Italy.
Fine. Okay.
Yes.
We?
No. Yeah.
I got to warn you, though.
Optimus.
What? It's Italian. I know.
Oh, okay.
I'm frantically scrawling on my hand with a Sharpie. Italy equals Italian. That's fun. We have fun here. We're going to continue having fun. Let's take a break.
They have a world famous tiramisu, and it does live up to that name.
Tiramisu?
Yeah. No, world
Oh,
famous.
the world famous part.
Jesus Christ.
Oh. Gotta go.
Goodbye.
Want the latest tips and tricks from the pros at Marie Callender's? Tell your mom to get on the horn at 805-669-8255. Call today and get a free neck pillow.
For that neck.
Thinking about delaying? Don't! Citizens Bank, go for it!
Folks, we're back as No More Whoppers. I'm Ray. That's Alex. And once again, did you hear any promos? No, I don't think so.
No. Right? Unless I made a fake and then put it in editing.
God damn it. Okay, dig
What's
what?
Nothing. I'm just saying hi.
Oh, okay. Well, usually when you say
this, hello.
Yeah. Okay, fine. Fair enough.
It's got a ton of different uses.
Yep, sure. Alex, you have any highly relevant video game talk that we can sell to a headset company?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Listen up, gamers.
I played. Well, actually, I don't know how much I can talk about this because I finished playing all the way through Chained Echoes and Sea of Stars for my YouTube video, and I don't know if I want to save all this for the video. If there's anything really to say, they're fine. They're beautiful looking RPGs, and they are worth playing. To be determined.
What? Okay. Yeah. Don't spoil it.
No spoilers. I will say though.
Wait until the 3-hour video essay.
It's not gonna be 3 hours.
Oh, okay.
I will say though, Chained Echoes has the courtesy to make its post-game content largely unrelated to the plot.
All right.
Sea of Stars is making me do all this dumb shit to get the true ending. Like you have to finish every side quest and collect all the stupid collectibles, and a lot of the collectibles even have side quests attached to them. Like you're supposed to, there's like 60 rainbow shells.
Oh.
I know. You're supposed to collect 60 rainbow shells that are scattered throughout the game. And most of them you just find in chests everywhere, which are still a pain in the ass to find if you miss them though, because they're all inside dungeons or towns. Right. And the dungeons in that game are very big and there's no way to just warp out of a dungeon. So I have to find where the dungeon was, go deep into it, get the thing, and then get out of it. Because there's no, the game is just like Chrono Trigger to a fault in that there's no way to just immediately warp out of a dungeon.
Right.
Except in Chrono Trigger, it wasn't a big deal because dungeons were pretty small. And in this game, they are not.
Fantastic.
Then there's a handful of these shells where you have to do dumb quests. Like I just did one where there's a robot that's like, feed me something warm. So you got to go cook a food that's warm and then give it to him. And then he's like, feed me something sweet. And then I cook something sweet and I give it to him. And he's like, not sweet enough. And I'm like, go fuck yourself. And it's the kind of content that like no one on the internet has made an exhaustive list of what this robot considers warm and sweet, etc. They've just listed a couple of foods that have worked for them, and I don't have those foods or those recipes, so now I'm looking up where to find the recipe for sweet potato gratin, and it's in a dungeon I missed, and I've got to go all the way into this dungeon. It's just all this shit that has nothing to do with the story, and yet you have to do it to get the true ending.
Oh my god, the true ending, huh? Great.
Yeah, and I've heard the true ending is not any more satisfying than the original ending, which was not satisfying. It's
like what?
But that's sort of the basis. That's sort of the basis of the video, is that these games have problems in their writing in different ways. Chained Echoes' problem is more of a proofreading issue, and the referential stuff, which is a large part of the video. And then Sea of Stars is just mostly, the writing is mostly fine. It's just characters are extremely one-dimensional, and you don't care about any of them for the entire game, so it all falls kind of flat. All right, also, there's a food called yakitori shrimp. I don't think that was proofread by anybody, because what fucking sense does that make?
Well, you see, it's a fantasy world.
Yeah, grilled chicken shrimp.
Yeah, well, you got turducken in the real world, right? I mean,
but
yeah, gotcha, bitch.
The sprite is just shrimp, and the recipe is just shrimp. There's no chicken in it. Did you mean kushiyaki shrimp? How about this? How about just shrimp skewers? How about that, you weebs? I'm done.
It's a cartoon. It's a fantasy land.
It is. It is a beautiful game, though. I cannot get over how gorgeous the sprite work is.
Are you playing with or without Gerard?
Without.
Okay. You did patch it.
It's funny because he was replaced with a generic character called Bob the Builder, a reference to Bob the Builder. There is also a character in Chained Echoes with the same name and job of Bob the Builder. So I guess if your indie RPG is doing a build a town mechanic, you've got to have a character named Bob the Builder. I don't know. Something to keep in mind for any RPG devs out there. What?
No, I don't think so. I don't think you have to have that.
Really? I don't know. Not from what I've played.
You can come up with a special name.
Can you?
You can do that, yeah.
Explain how.
Well, you might need a gene in your biochemistry called originality.
Oh.
If
Okay.
you don't got that,
Yeah,
you're up shit creek.
That's where both games kind of falter, is when it's time to be original. One of them drops the ball and one of them just shrugs.
Doesn't even pick up the ball.
It doesn't even know there is a ball to pick up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's
Fantastic.
Sea of Stars' whole design philosophy is basically, oh, it looks like Chrono Trigger, so that's enough, right? And it's really not.
Find out on the Alex Frailty YouTube channel.
It's coming.
All right. Well, you're talking about getting things that have side quests attached to them and having to collect all this stuff. It does remind me a little bit of what I've been playing, which is Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth.
Ooh.
Because they made a bigger map and they made it a lot more dense with collectible shit. And boy, have they went the full 10 yards with that. But I wasn't really
hang on,
about
though.
that. Exactly. But no, sorry.
Why would anybody even buy a game that is so expensive?
Are you saying the price is infinite?
Yeah. Is that not, am I misunderstanding?
You are misunderstanding.
Okay. How much was it?
It's like the standard price, like $70.
That seems like false advertising.
Sounds like a discount compared to what you were thinking, huh?
Yeah, it does. That's much better. Oh shit, I might play this now.
So most of it takes place in Hawaii, of course, as we've seen in the trailers and such. And they say it was a much bigger map, and I can believe them, but the thing is that, like, when you look at it, like, the Hawaii map is like horizontal. And if you've played like any other Yakuza game, most of the city maps are just kind of like evenly shaped, or just kind of like mostly vertical set, when you look at it in 2D space on the map. In the previous game, Like a Dragon, the 7th game, like, they added the Yokohama map, and it was large, but they didn't add a lot to it. It was like 2 halves, and the top half was kind of sparse compared to the bottom half where most of the other stuff was. And it just seemed like they didn't really figure it out. And so now in Hawaii, they have this like more horizontal looking map, because it's just like, a coastal street kind of deal. And everything is packed full of like shops and trolley stops and even like 2 malls, I guess. And like everything's just really, really packed. And it's a little more daunting, I suppose, to look at it. But, for someone if you enjoy open world games, you got a lot going on there.
Okay, but wouldn't you say that Gaijin Kawaii?
Well, yeah, it doesn't seem to bug anybody in this game.
Okay, Ichiban seems like the kind of guy who just rolls with anything, so I bet he's just totally down with it.
That's also what I wanted to talk about. Really, my point here is that, so in the story so far, and I'm not going to spoil anything, but you can see from like the jump is that they kind of amped up Kasuga's good guy attitude.
Okay.
So maybe it's because he's in Hawaii and it's a new place and he's so happy to meet new friends or whatever and get wrapped up in new shit. But it seemed like he was just extra into the whole thing of like, I'd take a bullet for a bud any day. That's one of his lines in a cutscene. And he says, things like, you saved my life. It doesn't matter what happens, things of that nature. And it just is like, he's very bubbly, I guess, compared to how he was in the last game, where he was kind of bubbly, but now it just seemed he's kind of veering into himbo territory. And
the image I got from him from the previous game was, well, like Kiryu is more like, well, I guess he's like a dragon, but
true.
More accurately, I think he's like a cat. He's like a tiger. He's not he doesn't really show a lot of emotion, but he is fierce.
Yeah.
And then Kasuga is just a humongous puppy dog. He's just a gigantic Afro Labrador.
This is
true.
I
love him to death.
And it does become, I think part of why I say this is because it does become more evident when you play alongside Kiryu for a lot of this game in Hawaii, at least.
Yeah. Oh, I
And,
bet their dynamic is great.
Oh, it is great. But because of that, they kind of have to elevate Kiryu a bit more to make him seem a bit softer. Not a lot, not like he's turned into Kasuga or anything, but he has to roll along with it, I guess is what I'm saying. And you can get on a Segway, and your party also gets on the Segways, and you can see Kiryu in the background just behind you riding a Segway.
So wait, this one's also an RPG?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Have they fixed any of it?
Right. So, of course, I did want to talk about that because you had your complaints about it.
Yes.
I know that the thing you and I talked about before on the show was the fact that you got enemies still walking around, and you can either find it hard to aim an attack at somebody or find an enemy blocks you from making that attack on the other guy.
Yeah.
That still kind of happens. So
God damn it.
They sort of add other things to, I guess, sugarcoat it. So
okay,
when you have an AoE attack, it now shows you the circle, the area of effect on the ground, and it moves when you move in the space and everything. So that's another thing. Oh yeah, I guess, well, the first thing is that you do have now a movement space at the beginning of your turn. So the character can move around within that before you make an action happen. And that's not perfect, because you still got guys who will decide to shuffle to the left or whatever, but you can do it, and you can certainly aim area of effect attacks a bit better and get closer to, another party member if you need to do an AoE heal or something like that. And also with the things that are aimed or go in a straight line, they'll show, the chevrons on the ground leading to the enemy. So you can get more guidance in that sense than you did in the last game, and not just have to rely fully on luck. But of course, there will come the time when the guy might step in front and ruin your shot or whatever.
I play. Oh, sorry.
I do want to add, I haven't confirmed this yet because I haven't played enough and I haven't analyzed it enough. But I think in some cases, when you do actually confirm the command, guys will stop. And I can't say if that's true or not, but I want to say it's happened because I want this to be true. But as soon as you press A on the command and it's launched, guys will slow down or stop or something. But
I know, I think 7 is like that as well. My problem is when you're selecting an AoE attack, they're still moving around.
Yeah.
So as soon as you open up a menu to select a move, everyone should just fucking stand still so I know what's going on.
You're right. But like I said, that does happen, but you now also get the guidance, on the ground where you can see where things are going to touch or not. So there's that.
I actually, when I play 7 now, I've actually just, because I think that the battle system is so bad, I just set it to auto battle.
Yeah.
And then I input the button commands for the attack. It's almost like I'm playing Violent WarioWare. I suddenly get button prompts and I have to react to them. Because I'm not fucking with that battle system. Except for bosses. Bosses I'll do manually. And I do this with Dragon Quest games, but I do it to save time. I fight regular battles on auto battle, and then I do bosses manually. But I do that only as a time saving measure. And in Yakuza 7, it's a sanity saving measure.
Right. So they also added a thing where if you level up enough and the enemies roaming around are too low level, their icons will turn from red to blue. And that means if you do get caught in a battle, you'll get a prompt immediately on the screen saying press LT for a smackdown. And that is a super automatic thing where Kasuga just runs in and hits him 3 times and everybody's dead.
Cool.
And that's all you get.
And yet 30 years ago, Earthbound still did it better and faster.
That's true. It is. It is still not quite as fast as it happens in Earthbound.
Yeah.
And I just don't know why they still make you push a button. Because it's not listen,
guys, we solved this.
Believe me,
what are you doing?
Game, trust me. I am not going to actually want to perform all of the commands in this know-nothing battle where I'm just going to get $10 out of it. Please.
I suppose it's
to the end of it.
I suppose it could be, and this is something that I feel has been sort of endemic of video games for the past, I don't know, 10, 15, 20 years, but the illusion of participation. I guess like quick time event shit, like that's not really playing a game.
No.
Button mashing a prompt on a screen I don't really consider that gameplay.
Yeah.
But I think that a lot of games feel pressure to have this illusion of gameplay, of button prompts and shit like that, instead of just, have it either done automatically or I have full control. Anything in between, I feel like is just kind of wasting my time. And like that. The
perfect guards is still annoying. You still have to kind of have a fighting game mentality when that happens.
I'm okay. I will say something I did appreciate about Sea of Stars is because that game also has timed hits in the combat, but it has options to I think for your attacks, for your timed attacks, you can have them always work, but always the bonus damage is always half of if you had done it manually.
Yeah.
Yet if you do it manually, you can override that and still do full damage. And same for blocking, I believe. You won't always block, but I think you have everyone has an extra 50% chance to block. And then if you can nail the timing manually, you get a bonus to that. So for people like me who do not like timed hits, it's actually a pretty good way to play the game.
Yeah. So the battle system is not necessarily redone or fixed. They just added a bunch of things to make it seem a bit smoother as you go along, which I can generally accept. But the main things that bugged you, Alex, probably will still bug you.
Cool.
So going back to Kasuga, I was thinking he seems a bit bubbly, but he's always been this very nice guy, always willing to stick out and be very nice to everybody, no matter if they just tried to kill him or whatever, because he still has some honor to him. I was thinking he's Todd Glass, Todd Glass is the Ichiban Kasuga of comedy.
Oh God, yeah.
It's just the same sort of attitude there.
Okay. So Kasuga's always commenting about how, rich people walk around with a handful of nuts.
I would say almost. Yeah. I mean, you still get these party chat things as you walk down the street and stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
So you'll get things like that. But that made me think of it too. Cause it's just the party chat things are just these micro skits, you know what I mean? These little audio skits, and it's just
I love them.
They kind of wear on me a little bit. They kind of they're too bubbly sometimes. It's just let's do this. Yeah, let's go do that sometime. Whoa, it's like a Sesame Street skits or something.
Oh man, when are we gonna get Kasuga on Sesame Street?
It'll happen eventually.
He would fit right in. Yeah,
and you can play the Dondoko Island with the two TV mascots.
Oh yeah,
Gachapin and Muku are in there.
Yeah.
That's almost like Muppets.
Yeah, I guess.
Anybody know anything about Japanese Muppets? No? All right. Well, that's my first impression sort of on Infinite Wealth. I did sort of, from all the trailers and all the coverage and stuff, I started to get some sort of anxiety about it, because I'm like, wow, this seems like a big deal. This seems long. It's a whole new setting. Things are going to happen. There's revelations that will happen and things. It seems like they just, I don't know. But then, I played it and it's this is still a Yakuza game. It's pretty similar to the previous one. And so really, what did I have to feel so weird about in the first place? Just come along for the ride.
Are you playing with the English dub or the Japanese?
Well, I decided mostly for parts where I needed to listen to things and didn't have to pay a whole lot of attention. However, I decided to go with the dub.
Good, yeah.
Of course, this ties back into our previous episode where I was talking about the new Kiryu voice and how people were upset about that and how he didn't seem that great. And he doesn't seem that great. It seems like everybody else in the cast is carrying him, and it's kind of a bummer.
Yeah, because that's one of the things I did enjoy really about Like a Dragon was Kasuga's voice actor. I feel is very good in English.
Yeah,
he's so perfect for that character.
Yeah, And a lot of the dialogue is well written and well acted.
Yeah.
From people in general, especially in this game. Like there's a lot of really good lines. The character Tomizawa, I think some people might think he has kind of like an annoying voice, but he carries it pretty well. He delivers lines really well. It's pretty good. And I believe it's Susie Young is the new girl character. She is also Yuffie. And so...
Oh, okay. When does Yuffie show up in the game?
Oh, no, I'm talking about Final Fantasy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm out.
Right. Okay. But it's a very similar voice. Okay.
Off my wish list.
Also pretty good. And yeah, and of course the returning characters like Adachi and stuff. Oh, another thing you're going to hate. And speaking of Final Fantasy, you hated the crosstalk in FF7 Remake. And boy, this also has it.
Yeah. Oh, geez.
This still seems to be like something they can't quite fix because they decided to have these tight like shopping mall areas where there's a shitload of tourists and they all got the chatter dialogue going on like
God.
a lot of other Yakuza games had. But, you know, back in those days, it was like, you know, 5 or 6 people spread out along the Kamurocho streets.
Oh,
and here we're in like
okay.
an Hawaiian shopping mall where everybody loves to go.
Okay. That would fucking drive me insane because let me explain why I hate crosstalk. I think it's a combination of I think it's only a little bit of social anxiety, but it's also the high sensitivity because I'm just super sensitive to noise and light and sound and most senses really, but those are the big ones.
You're like a deer.
Yeah. And especially when it comes to, because I've been in Japan so long, I'm so used to hearing Japanese when I walk around. I don't think anything of it. Like that's what's natural to me now. And so when I walk around in Japan and I hear someone speaking English, I go into alert mode. Like, oh, someone's speaking English. Who is that? Are they going to know me? Are they going to want to ask me something? Are they going to want to say hi? Are they going to want to talk to me? And I will sometimes, depending on how I'm feeling, I will alter my route to go away from the English, which I know is not entirely healthy, but which means that every time I, when I go home to visit my family, like anytime I'm, it starts at the airport really. But when I get out of the airport or I'm in a shopping mall or anywhere, I feel like, I'm Professor X in Cerebro and I'm freaking out because I can hear everybody's voice on Earth. Was that an X2 development? I feel overwhelmed because I can hear everybody at the same time and I just want to shout, everyone just please shut the fuck up. I can hear you. Do you know that I can hear you? Because I can. Oh, boy. So yeah, having that in my video game, I think would probably push me away very hard.
Okay, well,
unless there's a way to turn it off.
I don't know exactly because it doesn't bug me as much, but play with those volume sliders. See what you can get out of that.
Oh boy. It's like there's something like my brain can only process so much English at once, I think is the root issue here because hang on, because this happened recently. Like my wife and I were in a restaurant and we were having a conversation and a song came on that I knew and I could not participate in the conversation until the song was over because my mind was singing the song with the singer because it was just loud enough that I couldn't ignore it. And so I just start staring glassy-eyed at my wife and she's like, "Are you okay?"
Oh my God.
Like she's telling me about, like she's selling some of her clothes online because she has too many clothes. So I'm very proud of her. She's cleaning out her closet and making some money. And she's telling me about this. And then, halfway through the conversation, I just go dead-eyed. And she's like, "What is wrong with you?" I'm like, "It's the song. I'm sorry. I'm trying to listen, but I can't because I know this song." Is anybody a brain doctor? Can anybody tell me what's wrong with me? Because I don't know. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, sorry. Video games. Keep going, please.
Yeah, you sound like Kasuga sometimes. It's like a scared puppy. Doesn't want to.
Oh,
scared
God.
of English.
I've got Kasugiasis.
Yeah. They also drop the pretense pretty quick of him not being able to understand English because, like, eventually, just everybody starts.
Oh wow,
talking the same language, and he just starts to.
Cool.
go along with it. I do. Actually, I read somebody on a forum saying like, okay, in my head canon, somebody said my head canon was that Kasuga, part of Kasuga's fantasy is that he can immediately understand everybody and respond in kind. And I was like, yes, that is the one headcanon I can agree with, because it's just like in reality, it would just be him going back and forth. What'd they say? What'd they say? What'd they say? One of the other characters translating for him. It'd be like that. Yeah. I can deal with that for sure. Yeah, I can hang with that. Yeah. So far, still a fun game.
I'll say this though, on the subject of Yakuza, I've been watching my buddy Tom play a game at the bar recently called Fading Afternoon, which is a pixel-based, like a 2D side-scrolling Yakuza beat-em-up kind of thing, based in the set in the 80s. I think it's all made by one Russian guy. He's made 3 games, I believe.
Okay.
It's beautiful sprite work. And the music is gorgeous. It's very 80s Japan, just smooth sunsets and shit. Very relaxing. And then fun beat 'em up violence when you fight Yakuza dudes. And when you're not fighting, it's just the most chill music you've ever heard.
Oh, is it?
I highly recommend.
Is it the same guy who made that Friends of Ringo?
Yes. The Friends of, what's his name? Yeah, same guy. And he has a 3rd game as well. Yeah. I don't know about the other 2, but Fading Afternoon looks like a lot of fun. If you like 2D and Yakuza in the 80s kind of stuff, it looks like a lot of fun.
All right. Yeah.
I might just buy the soundtrack because it's so chill.
Do it.
I will.
What are you, chicken? Oh, you can also feed random chickens in Infinite Wealth.
Oh, cool.
And dogs and cats. And
okay,
for reasons unexplained, cows.
Okay.
I found at least 2 cows just chilling in a park.
Now okay. I mean, that could be a Dragon Quest reference.
It would seem like it, yeah. But yeah. Oh, and I guess one other thing, the Dragon Quest stuff played down almost to non-existence.
Oh, of course, because that was Ichiban's thing.
The only real Dragon Quest-y things that they still have are the sprites on the loading screen and the new party member jingle that they make you wait through, of course. So
yeah, DQ does that.
But yeah, otherwise it does look and play the same RPG as it did before. So yeah.
All right. Well, I will probably just watch someone play it then.
Really?
Because I'm finding it difficult to finish Like a Dragon.
Okay.
I think I don't know how far I am. I got to be like halfway through at least, but I just find it sucks because I love the characters and I love the story. It's basically the opposite problem of Sea of Stars. It's the gameplay is poor, but the characters are great.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I can say that leveling curve is not as bad though. Like there's no bad spikes yet that I've seen. I guess maybe if, in certain bosses, yeah, sure, you'll have a tough time. But like there were moments in the last game where it was just like, you need to actually spend time to hit this level or you will not make it. And there's none of that yet. In fact, the game actually now suggests what level you should be in some cases. Like if you have, if you're coming off a cutscene and going to the next mission or whatever, it will literally give you should be this level. You should have this class of weapons and armor as well, like 3-star weapons. And so it's very explicit about that. And that's also appreciated. So like I said, the basic gameplay is kind of the same, but they do add things to, I guess, make it seem better.
All right.
So I would still give it a shot. Give it the first couple chapters whenever you get to it ever, Alex, and then see if you still want to just watch it.
I mean, if I'm doing that, I'm not paying full price for it.
Well, someone will give it to you, I'm sure.
That would be great.
You're not finishing this game for another couple years, right? So who knows how cheap it'll be later. So.
No, I did. I picked up another. Hang on, what controller is this? I picked up a second controller for the living room. The 8-Bit Do Pro 2.
Right.
is the one I've been using in my office for about a year, and I love it. So I bought a second one. I bought a retro colored one for the living room.
Are they all retro colored?
Well, retro it was listed on the site as retro gray. It's basically the it's not quite NES gray. It's like NES beige and red, almost NES red.
Oh, the Game Boy one.
Oh, is it supposed to be Game Boy colored?
With like the purpley buttons?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I don't know. I'll show you later. Yeah, it's
the dark maroon.
It's great. Like I like those controllers. I think they feel great. They're comfy. They got the symmetric analogs, which I need. Like I cannot use an Xbox controller. I think it's because FF14 has like ruined my brain for non-symmetric sticks.
Oh,
because in FF14 you need not the sticks, but you need the D-pad and the face buttons to be symmetric for your commands if you play with controller.
Well, they got FF14 coming out on Xbox soon.
No, I'm not playing it at all.
We'll see how people deal.
I may be taking a break from 14 once my sub is up because the next expansion is not out till September.
Yeah.
I know they were shooting for summer, but I think it's been pushed back.
All right.
I don't know. I'm going to take a break from the game, and then I'm going to enjoy other games. And by the time it comes out, I will not have a bar.
Well, we wish it well as we do all Final Fantasies.
All right. Yeah, I'm a Final Fantasy.
Yeah. Part of the thing is that this month I am, this month as in literal 30 days, trying to get Infinite Wealth done, because then supposedly Final Fantasy VII Rebirth will be out, and will be kind of a nice event for me and my wife to play through. And so I need to wrap this up.
Cool.
That's my gaming schedule. Thanks everybody for listening.
Excellent.
Do you have any more gaming news? There was that Death Stranding 2 trailer.
I'm not a Death Stranding. I'm not a Strando.
I thought you had seen it. Like, didn't Tom play through it and you watched it?
I played through the first chapter. I don't know when the first content. No, not content. The first area, I guess. But area's not a good word. It's basically I set out on my motorcycle for the second big city. Like I cleared the initial first chunk of it, and then I ended up rage quitting the game because on my way I'm on my motorcycle and I'm loaded down with deliveries and shit, and I run into a ghost and all my shit goes flying. And it takes me 10 minutes to find all my packages, kill the ghost, get back on my bike, and then 10 seconds later, hit another ghost, the same shit happens. And I'm like, I'm not doing this. I don't have the patience for this. This fucking sucks.
Seems like you didn't learn.
Huh. I did learn, but the thing about ghosts is they just appear.
Well, yeah, I mean, in that game, though, they're in very prescribed areas on the map.
Yeah, well, turns out that when you leave the city, there's only one place to go, and it's forward, and that's where fucking ghosts are.
Well, there's shades of gray, too, that's what I'm saying.
I know. I'm being dramatic. But no, I did watch my buddy Sebastian. I watched him stream, play through the whole game on stream. So I did kind of, I technically saw the story and the ending. I couldn't tell you if I understood all of it, but I sure did. I did witness it.
What'd you expect from a Kojima joint?
Yes.
And so there was yet another Kojima 10-minute trailer yesterday.
10 minutes?
Yeah, that's what he does.
All right.
That's what he does now. He edits his own 10-minute trailers. This is his thing. This is his baby. You let him do what he wants, and nobody gets hurt, okay?
No, I know. It's I think that he is a positive force in video games, even if all of his games are not for me.
Yeah, sure. That's one way to put it. Okay, but you didn't watch the trailer?
No.
Okay. There was that new Silent Hill spinoff thingy, I guess. Free to play little game. I know you don't really much care about Silent Hill these days.
No. But who does, though?
Some people. Enough that they're bothering to remake 2.
Well, that's because it's, everyone remembers 2 being one of the best. Right. But, seriously, what was the last good Silent Hill game? Anybody can chime in. guess I want to go to Silent Hill.
Me yelling at you,
who
trying to run around a huge map. Silent Hill. Carmen was last seen in Silent Hill.
She's got her big hat is just like pyramid shaped now.
Oh dear. Oh no.
Pyramid hat.
That's
Yeah.
no good.
But like the reason they're remaking Silent Hill 2 is because no
Yes,
one
I
has
know.
any faith in new Silent Hill. Okay, good.
Yes, I understand.
Yeah.
Now they've given it Resident Evil remake combat, so it should be good.
Oh,
Looks just like one of those now.
okay.
What do you think?
I don't know how I feel about that because
Mhm.
like I know a lot of the combat in games like Silent Hill was, I mean, I know that some people have said that, oh, it's deliberately bad because it's scary and you're just a regular guy and you don't know how to fight. And part of me is satisfied with that as like a world building thing.
Yeah.
And then part of me is like, yeah, but it sucks. It's just not fun.
Yeah, I remember before I ever played Silent Hill 3, I remember I saw the review on Electric Playground or Reviews on the Run. Now, I don't want to legitimize Tommy Tallarico in any way, shape, or form. I am not trying to do that when I say what I'm about to say.
All right.
But of course, he didn't like Silent Hill 3 because he's a moron who hates everything. That's not
Yeah.
anything he directly worked on. But he said
Yes.
a thing where his main complaint was just like, you can just run past all the enemies. You don't even have to fight anybody. And the worst person you know just said something right. Like, he was kind of right.
Ah.
And when I played that, that's basically the experience I had. Because I was just like, yeah, it's not
Well,
that kind of horror game, really. So
I think it's part of the horror atmosphere is that you can run past everything because it's like
explain how.
because when you run past something, there's this feeling of tension. Like, am I going to get away without being hit? Like, am I going to safely get away? And
Okay.
sometimes you do,
Yeah.
and sometimes you don't. And like, it makes it you feel like you are escaping something that is about to kill you, and it adds to the tension. And I like it. I like. And
Sure.
like you know how fast it you know how long it takes an enemy to turn and swipe, and you're like in your head you're like, okay, I can run past it, and it's fun, it's excitement, it's tension,
Yeah.
it's
I mean,
thrilling.
in real life, when you're also being chased by fleshy blobs, you just are scared of going past them. You just don't
Yes.
know what's going to happen. You just don't want to.
That's why I do it in fake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just don't know. And that's why you're scared. And that's why your brain doesn't like it. Yeah.
Yes.
I get it.
Yeah. It's like it's like Metal Gear. It's like if you want to kill the guards, you can. If you want to sneak by the guards, you can. Like if you want to fight the flesh beast, I guess you can. But also, it's fun and thrilling and scary to run past it because then you've pissed it off and you got to get to that door.
Yeah.
That's part of survival horror to me, is running past shit.
Sure. Okay. I get it. Yeah.
However, I don't know how I feel about them updating the combat because the combat was never, I don't think, that important to begin with. But
Right.
it is important in the modern language of video games because if you're putting out a big AAA video game, well, you better have a good combat system.
Yeah.
You can no longer have a bad combat system for story reasons in a humongous franchise. Like, it's not acceptable anymore.
You're kind of right, especially when you are a AAA gaming company of as such. Like, you just,
Yes.
you're just going to have to follow everyone's lead because, games are so much more expensive now. And yet also so many more different kinds of people are playing it. That was a grammar crime. I'm sorry, but you know what I mean? Just like there's a lot more, let's say, even dumber people who don't know how video games work, but expect video games to all be a certain thing. And so I'm sure
Yes.
Konami
Yes.
was cognizant of that. And
And I touch on this a little bit in my YouTube video about pixel art, but like a little bit, just year by year, more of that artistry is lost in video games because you have to replace it with the thing that sells more.
Yep.
And the first thing to go was visuals. Like, okay, No more of this. No more of these sprites that make you use your imagination. Everything needs to look photorealistic now, so that your brain absolutely knows, this is a guy or this is a whatever. And that's what the first thing to disconnect me from modern video games is, oh, you're going for like a realism thing. Well, I guess. But yeah, year by year and bit by bit, things like that get chipped away and replaced. Like, Silent Hill combat, it's kind of supposed to be shitty. No, we got to make it like really good. And you here's the reticle for your gun, and here's the new fast butt system where if you hit L1 when you're about to be hit, you can initiate fast butt, and then your butt takes the hit for you. It's like, I don't need that shit. What are you fucking doing?
Yeah.
Like, I know it's your job to make a video game, to sell, to make money, but it's like, I don't want to say it used to be about the art, man, but people, directors and producers and the creative people behind these things had more control, and they could make creative decisions. And now they really can't, because the decisions have to be based on what is going to sell.
Right. I mean, but to go back to Silent Hill, like, I enjoyed Silent Hill 2 and 3. Those are still great. Even if I don't think that they were like combat happy fun fests, bashing things over the head or with shotguns or whatever. But I'm not going to try and justify it by saying, oh, it's supposed to be that. It's supposed to be janky or non-existent. I don't know why anybody back then would have said that, but it's just kind of funny to think about.
That was a common thing I saw thrown around on message boards was like, why does the Silent Hill combat suck? Oh, it's because, Harry and James they're just regular guys. They barely know how to use a gun.
I see. Yeah.
But I don't know. I kind of bought into that because it does make them scarier. It makes the games a little bit spookier, because that if you encounter an enemy, you're like, oh shit, the combat system sucks. I don't want to fight this thing.
If it helps you believe it, sure, but at some point it's just like it's someone else just making up an excuse to try.
Yes, but at the same time, like I
try and disarm somebody else.
But those games had auto aim though, right? Did they?
I don't remember.
Because I think that's all you need in a system like that. Like,
yeah,
because it's I don't know. I was relieved when Resident Evil Director's Cut added auto aim, because the original did not have it, and you've got to just line up what you think is a shot in with your 3D character standing in a pre-rendered background pointing at a zombie across the room. Yeah. Some rooms and some camera angles it's easy, and others it's like that absolutely should have hit you. What is going on?
Right.
And I feel like if a game like Silent Hill has auto aim, it's probably fine. Like, I don't know what you would want to add to the combat. Like, what do you think is lacking from the combat?
Fighting game moves, fireballs, dragon punches.
Are you just fucking with me?
Yes, because I don't have a real answer for you. I certainly, in the end, don't care that much because I'm not also a big Silent Hill guy. So
I'm not either, but I do like those first three, and I think they're all about atmosphere.
Yeah. I only played those two, really.
I mean, I would describe the combat as slow and clunky, certainly. But again, they're not supposed to be fast-paced action games. They're supposed to be spooky survival horror games.
Yeah. I guess maybe the thing I maybe expected and was a little bit surprised that they don't do it a lot was the thing in Resident Evil where the zombie can just grab onto you and suck away some life, and you can't really stop it in such a way. And none of the monsters in Silent Hill really do that. They just kind of either charge at you or swipe at you.
Yes.
And again, I'm not trying to say Silent Hill should be exactly like Resident Evil. It was just one of those things where it's like, okay, I can see why somebody like Tommy Tallarico might think this game doesn't have it, because there's no real tension of the combat. That was my impression.
The tension comes from avoiding combat.
Yeah, okay. I suppose so.
But I think that's good.
All right. Well, I look forward to your next video on Silent Hill.
I won't do one.
Oh.
If Resident Evil had that kind of combat system, I would think it was bad.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Because, your Resident Evil characters are supposed to be, proficient fighters.
Yeah. Now, there's sort of a flip side to this. To go back to Yakuza, because there are people who really, really want every Yakuza game to just be like the beat 'em up style that it always has been, and people just do not like the RPGs. They think it's a betrayal or whatever, and so they like it when they still make the ones that are just like the real-time combat. And to me, I've played all of them. I don't think that combat is that deep either. It's just eventually gets so repetitive, it starts to just feel like a Dynasty Warriors game. And it's like, yes, okay, you will sometimes fight the special boss that you actually have to be a little bit more technical with. But even that can devolve into just like repetition all the time. And you're not really exercising any kind of depth. You're not seeing much depth in most of the fights in the Yakuza game. And so I don't think it's any better than doing a turn-based RPG combat. It's just like, it's two different things. It meets the same result. You are seeing guys punch each other. It's fine. And I don't understand why some people just get so passionate about it. But, that's idiots. What are you going to do?
Yeah, it's I mentioned this on the Discord, but I think prefer action-based Yakuza games to when Yakuza attempts to do an RPG system, because the RPG components are so bad. Just do the thing that I know you're good at,
Yeah. I'm saying the thing that they're good at and what some people think they are so excellent at is actually just kind of normal.
What do you mean?
Like, there's nothing especially special about the beat 'em up combat in the previous Yakuza game.
No, there's not, but the RPG elements are bad. Therefore, I prefer the competent beat 'em up stuff.
All right. I wasn't exactly talking to you about it. I was just saying that.
Well then.
Still, I was trying to reiterate my point. Anyway.
Can we all just agree that violence is wrong-hearted?
Yes. Well, sometimes you need violence to make ends meet.
Oh.
Not like the financial kind. I just mean, emotionally reaching in. These are things I learned from Ichiban Kasuga.
Okay.
He taught me to stand up for myself and what I believe in, and to always help a friend in need. That'd be great at the end of Infinite Wealth. There's just a huge emotional monologue and there's someone golf claps at the end.
Dang it, do the monologue. There we go. Well, we wish him luck, as we do all Ichibans.
I think there's only one. It's such a unique name, right?
I guess, yeah. I've never known an Ichiban. I've known a Kasuga.
All right.
That's it?
Well, okay then.
Great!
That's game news.
That's game. All right, let's, why don't we take a quick break and come back and finish it out.
All right.
Cool. Folks, welcome back. It's No More Whoppers, segment 3. We're finishing it out. I'm Alex. This over here in the armchair is Ray.
Yeah,
Ray.
It has arms on it. I was just checking.
Wake
Sorry.
up.
I was just looking to
Say
check.
hi.
Hello.
Okay, there he is. Yeah. See, he's flashing his famous hand.
My hand is messed up, man.
What's going on? Did that Gran Turismo movie already come out? Because I haven't seen anything about it in Japan.
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
Oh, it's on Netflix? Okay.
It just hit Netflix here anyway.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I heard, is this true? I heard that to promote the movie, he changed his name to Orlando Vroom.
Yeah, but just for the period of the press junkets and stuff.
Okay, and then he had to change it back. That's a lengthy process, though. That's a pain in the ass.
He's rich. He's just, he gets assistants to take care of it.
Man, I had
Famous people, they're just like us.
I did have someone I forget who it was. Somebody at the bar, some jackass. There's
Name
people,
one.
people, I guess, have this image of me that I can only know about or like video games. And I was talking, we were talking about the Gran Turismo movie, and I was confusing it with the Need for Speed movie.
Oh, sure.
And they didn't know there was one. And I was like, yeah, I had Aaron Paul. Aaron Paul? Who's Aaron Paul? Jesse Pinkman. Oh, huh. I guess you know things that aren't just video games. Go fuck yourself.
Have you ever heard of Nintendo?
Yes, and other things like Mattel.
That very first Nintendo. You understand what I mean by that?
That's the one, 1985. In America.
Final Fantasy, is it 6?
It is 6.
I'm going to say it's not that people assume that you know everything about video games or whatever. It's just that they got nothing else.
I know.
They got nothing else on their little social palette to, pluck and give to you. That's just
okay. Yes,
that's just the reaction they have.
I want to say, like, in the past 9.5 years, I've learned a lot about human psychology in social settings and how people will just say dumb shit because they don't have anything better to say. But I want to reinforce, saying nothing is always an option.
Yeah. On the other hand, I've taken that path, and look where it's gotten me now. Kind of nowhere.
Well, okay, you have to say something sometimes.
Yeah. Dang.
Sorry.
Oh. Hey, Alex, by the way.
Well, hi.
Once you close the bar,
yes.
Are we going to unseal the documents, and are you going to name every moron that you didn't like who came into the bar?
Yes.
All right. And we're going to do that first on No More Whoppers, right?
That's right, yeah.
We're going to do a live event.
No, I don't know that. Well, I do remember some names, but they're not. There would be no point, I guess.
No, of course not. It's very cruel, but fun.
Yes, like some of them were chronic troublemakers around town who got banned from several bars. One of them I found out moved to Osaka because he got banned from every major bar in Nagoya, including mine. and then proceeded to get banned from every major bar in Osaka and then moved back to Australia.
Okay. I mean,
just a cool dude all around.
Like, that's the reason, huh? Like,
yeah.
Well, I can't go to a bar anymore. I guess I better find another bar to go to. Like, really? Let's maybe evaluate what kind of person we are.
He was a real prick.
Oh my God. Some people just like live on different wavelengths. That's for sure.
Yeah. It's not
what are
great.
you going to do? Well, it's time for No More Whoppers Fan Fun, sponsored by Michelob.
Fan Fun! What? Oh.
That's right. We do have a sponsor.
Okay, I'll roll the ad right here.
Michelob. You better drink it.
Hey, Dad, what you making? Michelob. Can I have one? Sure. Michelob.
Alex, what do you think Michelob is?
It's like a souffle.
I remember when I was a boy and my dad would take me to the garage and show me the Michelob he was working on.
Son, check it out. It's Michelob.
I learned a lot about engineering over the years with Dad, making all sorts of Michelob.
I built my first Michelob at 19.
That's how I became the man I am today, and now I lead engineering efforts for the Michelob division of Intel.
I'm a Michelob man, and someday I want my son to be as well. I'd also like to have a son.
I can recommend Sons, by the way. Yeah, just saying.
Thank you very much. Fan Fun is brought to you by the Great Taste of Michelob, and we've got one phone call right here. I'm going to play it. Are you ready?
Oh, yes.
Good. Dig this.
Hey, Ray and Alex. It's Zether. I just wanted to say that I listened to the couple of episodes of the prologue of game site about nothing, and I feel so much more justified in my dislike for Penny Arcade. So just wanted to say that. Keep it up. Keep doing what you do. And yeah, bye.
Thanks, Zether. Keeping it tight. 21 seconds. That's what we like.
Yeah, that's the idea. Getting everybody justified in their dislike for Penny Arcade or finding new reasons to dislike them.
There's plenty of reasons.
And that's why, I must say, partly why I made that second episode free.
Oh, of course.
My little guilty pleasure is that I do think everyone should listen to that and find out why Penny Arcade actually sucks and always has. So there you go.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you once again. That's the calls.
Yeah, let's denormalize nerd culture.
If yeah, well, there's a lot more at play there than just nerd culture.
I know, yeah.
Does need some denormalizing. How about some defenestrating?
All right, I'm down.
Okay, you get the bald one.
All right. And well, hang on. What floor are we doing this from?
Oh, okay.
We could get in more trouble one way or the other.
They're at floor 50 of the Shinra building.
Oh boy. I mean, those are thick windows. Right?
Yeah. Right.
They're quadruple glazed.
Did I say 5th or 50th?
When anybody talks to you about double glazed windows, do you just get really hungry?
I've never heard it. I've only heard double pane.
Oh. Okay. No, apparently double glazed window. Maybe it's a Japanese thing, but I have some friends who installed double glazed windows. Yeah. I guess it, keeps in more heat. But just every time they describe them, like that sounds delicious.
It does. Yeah. I get you.
Oh man, anything double glazed sounds delicious.
You can imagine honey dripping off of it. Just
yeah. Oh. God, there's a crispy. There used to be a Krispy Kreme at Nagoya Station. I don't know if it's still there.
Oh yeah,
I hope so.
First time I had Krispy Kreme was at the Shinjuku station or outside of it.
Oh,
I think. Yeah.
And you were just like, yeah, it's a donut.
Yeah, it was a donut. Yeah. Got to practice my Japanese though.
They're fine. Oh, good.
Yeah.
Donuts kudasai.
I don't know exactly what I said, but I did incorrectly use soshite.
In what context do you need to say soshite to anybody serving you food?
Oh God. Okay, so listen, let's just for the record, I recognize it was incorrect.
I know we've all made mistakes.
I ordered the donut.
I'm not yelling at you.
And then also the Coke.
Oh, okay. I guess maybe that's okay. Maybe that's not too bad.
The tall drink. Okay. Yeah.
That's not too bad. Okay. You're a tall drink.
And then into Legend. Anyway.
And then into Krispy Kreme. So stay Krispy Kreme.
Some fuel for the road. Okay.
That's fun. I usually say soreto.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd like that. And give me the melon soda.
Okay. I think I got a muscat thing.
They love the muscat.
Crawler or whatever. Yeah.
Not to be confused with Meow from Phantasy Star, who is canonically a musk cat.
Thank you, Alex.
Anytime.
Any Phantasy Star news?
No.
All right.
I was talking to some folks on the Discord, though, about shining the Holy Ark on the Sega Saturn and how I really wanted a Phantasy Star 5 in that style back when I was a teenager.
Yeah.
And then I was disappointed that it didn't happen.
Yeah.
That might be my favorite Saturn game. It's really fun.
Really a lot of disappointment about Phantasy Star in general.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of don't mind the fact that it kind of blazed out early, and now we're just left with the online, fantasy as service model.
I think you could say the same for a lot of other celebrated RPG series of that era, even.
Breath of Fire?
Lunar, Lufia.
Yeah,
Breath of Fire. Yeah.
Yeah, damn.
Breath of Fire went out on a high note, I would say.
Yes, people seem to like Dragon Quarter a lot.
Suikoden, maybe not.
Yeah, Scuden. No, Scuden.
Well, I hear that
when,
I hear people say 4 and 5 are not good, or maybe just one of those.
4 is not good. 5
Okay.
is great.
I didn't like 3, so
Yeah, I didn't like 3, but 5 was heralded as a return to form, and then
Okay.
I bought it and I played it. And I was like, oh yeah, this is like they brought back a lot of the classic elements of the series that kind of made
Okay.
it fun. But yeah, 4 was not great, and I didn't like. I'd like to give 3 another try. I've heard that 3 is fun once you get into it. But also, I'm firmly in the part of my life where I'm like, I don't have the patience for it. It gets good after 3 seasons.
Oh boy, yeah.
I don't have the time for that. And especially in the case of an RPG, like those are very long games. I need shit to be good like in the first hour.
Yeah.
Otherwise, what am I doing?
They still didn't give a firm date for those remakes, did they?
No, hang on. I'm going to open up Steam right now because I have them on my wish list. I'm going to see if there's been any developments. I get all my news from Steam. Release date. Oh, release date. To be announced.
Fantastic. I think they said
Yeah,
they
that ain't
wanted
good.
it this year now, but
Yeah. Oh, that's
maybe
right.
summer.
Although Eiyuden Chronicles coming out April 24th.
That's right. Yeah. And then 2 days after that, Saga Emerald Beyond.
Cool.
I mean, okay, listen, I don't expect everybody to love Saga games or anything, but it does actually look cool because they are going with like a whole different kind of aesthetic and cast and everything. It's like a different looking Saga game than the last several that we've had. So, worth checking out, maybe. We'll see. That's all. Just saying,
I
give it a
want
chance.
you to have fun with it.
I'll try my best. Don't forget Hatsune Miku Fit Boxing.
Okay. Are you just looking at a release schedule?
No. Maybe I want to play that.
All right.
Just another day at the office for Peter Moore.
I play a lot of fitness boxing. So sue me.
All right. Ooh, did you play the Fist of the North Star one?
I played the demo, but it wasn't enough for me to be like, yeah, I'll go through
really?
this. Yeah.
Oh, that was the one I was thinking of picking up.
I mean, if you haven't played any of the other ones, then yeah, go ahead and try it.
Okay.
It's got a demo, so
Oh, shit. Well, I feel like the only way I would commit to a fitness regimen is if I paid full price for something.
I mean, part of it is the music, and like the normal fitness boxing games is just like karaoke bullshit. And I
Yeah.
played it so much that I end up just playing them on mute.
Karaoke bullshit.
So I am slightly more interested in the Hatsune Miku one because some of that stuff is at least catchy and probably good to exercise with. You see, maybe so. Less so for me than some hard rock Fist of the North Star stuff. Like, I like Fist of the North Star, but I don't need to listen to heavy metal through that filter. You know what I mean?
Oh, is it not the classic anime soundtrack? Is it like 80s, 90s? Or is it 2000s?
I know that's mixed in with it, but I'm
Yeah.
sure there's just like some backing track sort of stuff.
Oh,
maybe
there's
not.
not like an 80s only mode?
No, I don't think they cared that much.
Damn it.
Uh,
So I want to
yeah.
be living and fighting in the 80s, sometimes the 90s, but really no further.
What I want to do, sort of fitness / gaming wise, is finally find a way to get like a hard DDR mat or platform type thing.
Oh yeah. That would not work for us because we live above people. But for you, I bet it would be great.
Well, objectively, it could work for me, except I still don't have a lot of space like in this room I'm in right now. And I don't just want to do it in the living room where everyone can see. I very much prefer to be doing it privately. But,
Or you could install a private funk dome on your roof.
Funk Dome. Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
it's where you bust all your hot moves.
Do you know the name of a good Funk Dome installer?
Schlebitz.
Okay, should I just check Yelp or Angie's List
Yeah.
for Funk Domes?
Yeah.
All right, I'll do that.
Yeah.
You playing your yeah drop again?
I don't have a yeah drop.
Well,
Do
you
I?
could have fooled me, mister.
Oh, I should make one. Yeah.
Yes.
No, that's yes.
Yes.
Hey, that really sucked.
Look at these Cocoa Pebbles.
Wait!
Ugh.
Michael Bay des.
Hey, everyone. I love FF6. I do love FF6. So I bought the new controller to play more games in the living room. I'm still having weird input, like latency issues. And I don't know if it's the TV or what. I fixed it. It's been slightly fixed.
Okay.
It turns out it was it the refresh was not matched up in the Windows settings, so stuff, especially FF14, was like impossible to play. It was like a full second of input lag. It's like you can't play an MMO like that. You can't play anything like that.
How far back are you from this TV?
4 feet.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, like I'm pretty close. So now I'm not like it's better, but it's not as good as it is when I'm sitting in front of the computer in my office with the same model of controller. Like even FF14 is almost instantaneous movement. I don't know what it is. I don't know what's going on. Is it the TV? I want to blame the TV. I don't know what other Windows settings there could be that could reduce this lag.
Does the TV have a game mode?
It is. Oh, big ups to Pimento. Pimento, I gave her the model of my TV and she very, very helpfully looked up. Oh, yes, there is I was looking for a gaming mode on that TV for years and I never found it because it was buried under something called like scenario select.
Right,
it was like, because the TV has a menu called screen mode and it's not there. And it does have it under something called scenario select. And I just never looked under scenario select. I guess every time I looked under screen mode, it was like, well, I don't see game mode. But no, finally, thanks to Pimento, I'm finally, that's what, helped out a lot. And now I'm wondering if there's anything on the hardware side, on the Windows side, I guess that's software really, that I can use to make the experience smoother.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know. You're just saying okay, because I'm not giving you any useful information to go on.
And I've already debugged your entire apartment like this, so I don't know what else to tell you. Maybe just get a wire.
That's right.
Get an extra long USB cable.
It's not. Oh, I don't want to create the impression that I'm blaming the controller for any of this. I don't think it is the controller. I think it is something to do with the interaction between the TV and the computer.
All right, if that's what you're going with.
Because I'm telling you, this exact same controller works fine in my office.
Okay. Go for it.
Go for what?
I'm supporting you.
Go for Boku. All right, thank you.
In your detective work. I'm supporting you.
All right. Well, we'll figure it out.
Will we?
Probably.
Well, you'll just have to listen to the next episode of No More Whoppers.
That's right. Oh, yeah. Persona 3 Reload is on Xbox Game Pass, so I will probably try it there. I was probably not going to buy it, but shit, I already I pay for Game Pass, so why not?
All right. I was going to play that, but went for Yakuza instead, so let me know. What do you think?
I will. I will.
Jerk. I
was not a humongous fan of the original, but they kind of added enough improvements in 4 that 4 was when I jumped onto the series. Like, oh, okay, this is playable to me now.
That seems to be the idea. Yeah, they made a lot of stuff better.
Yeah, so I'm hoping they took some of these ideas and brought them back into 3.
Yeah,
I think in the original 3, like your social links could go backwards, right? Like that's fucking insane.
Don't remember.
That's a humongous disrespect of the player's time. in a time-based game where you have a year to do shit, to undo progress seems like a slap in the face, but I get it.
The new version of a game called
Shin Megami Tensei.
What about the Persona drop?
Oh, okay, you want that instead?
Yes.
Well, it used to be called Shin Megami Tensei, so you know.
Yeah, but not now.
Well, I'm just.
Well, I mean, it doesn't say it on the box.
The new version of a game called
Persona.
Play the new version of a game called.
The new version of a game called
Pilot Wings.
Where's that?
Oh God, I don't know. I wish there was one.
Right?
Boy, oh boy.
What was the last one on the 3DS?
Yeah.
Damn.
It was good. I almost 100%ed it.
Almost.
Yeah, I have commitment issues. But the music was really good too. Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
That's what I love about original Pilot Wings is I listen to that soundtrack as I go to bed sometimes.
Oh. No, I just like Pilot Wing 64. Otherwise, yeah.
Oh. 64?
I don't like the first Pilot Wings.
Really?
It has a vibe.
Yeah.
Though I don't agree with.
Really?
Yeah.
It's like the most chill, inoffensive, just kick back and relax kind of atmosphere. I thought that was exactly your vibe.
No, the whole sound font of that game just it rubs me the wrong way. I never liked it.
Are you serious?
I am very serious. I've felt this way since I was like 8 years old.
That's wild. That's one of my favorite sound fonts of all time.
No.
How can this go on?
It makes me feel bad.
Why?
Because that's how my brain works. Ray?
What's the Pilot Wings game where you pilot a dirigible?
Well, there's Kaze no Notam. That's where you fly hot air balloons. That's kind of like Pilot Wings.
Not the same.
Maybe it's Barker Bill's trick shooting?
That's the one.
All right.
I have no idea what that is.
It's a Zapper game.
Okay.
Shall we end the program?
Speaking of zapping, we're going to zap on out of here. Thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening, Alex.
Thank you.
Okay, well, folks, you can go to our website, nomorewhoppers.com. You can find everything you need to there. Also, go to our Patreon, patreon.com/nomorewhoppers. You can give us $1 a month just to be a cool gold subscriber, or $5 a month to be a golder subscriber. That means you get, well, this show's now ad-free to begin with, but you get the show a week early. And you also get access to all our bonus programs, including our latest show, A Game Said About Nothing, the Crunk Games podcast, where we talk about our old website, Crunk Games. And it's getting good. This next one's getting good. And by that, I mean bad.
It's getting juicy. Oh, good.
Oh, yeah, juicy. That's a good way to put it. I'm sorry. I didn't mean like bad, but yeah. Yeah, do that.
When kids these days say bad, they mean good.
Right.
And to shake your booty means to wiggle one's bottom. Permit me to demonstrate.
I never liked that joke.
It's clumsy.
I never liked Discord. We have a Discord server. It's open to everybody. You can find the link on nomorewhoppers.com. Our merch page is shop.spreadshirt.com/nomorewhoppers. We have shirts and stickers and buttons. Cool stuff for you forever. We have not updated it forever. So give it a look. The phone number. We never actually said it during the phone segment.
Oh my God, we completely forgot to. It's
805 NMW Talk. 805-669-8255 is the number to call.
That's the one.
You can say whatever you like. Usually, even things that you learned during our bonus show, the Crunk Games podcast.
Yeah, we don't care.
And I don't care. Just say something relevant. But for God's sake, keep it short.
Keep it, what did we say, under 60 seconds?
That's what you said, yes.
That's what I say.
Yeah.
That would be ideal.
Yes, please. 805 NMW Talk. And we're on the internet. Alex, would you like to talk about your presence on the internet?
I would. It's there. You can go to patui.org just to find all my stuff. pitohui.org. It links to a bar that's closing soon, and my voiceover work, and my YouTube channel, my Twitch channel, my social medias, Twitter, where I don't really post, Blue Sky, where I do post. That's also patui.org. Catch me on at Retronauts recently talking about Slime Mori Mori Dragon Quest.
All right. And my webpage is rdbaaa.space. You can find all the links to all the creative things I do mostly, including my social sites. Not social links, because that's a Persona thing.
That's a Persona. Oh, you know what? I named because Persona 5 was cat-based with a cat mascot and one of your characters dressed like a cat. I called my social link. I called my social group Social Links, LYNX. I was very proud of that.
Ooh, yeah. Well, you should be.
Thanks.
Well, my main social thing is on Blue Sky. The Blue Sky is rdbaaa.space as well. And still looking for a job. Still would like to have any kind of first round interview for any kind of job. That'd be nice. So let me know. You can also find me on LinkedIn. I'm not going to tell you. Just you can find me there. If anybody has any.
I'm looking for a bartender.
I got stuff to do.
Okay.
But yeah, that would be nice. On the other hand, I do have some things I'm working on creatively that I'm hoping to get done in the next couple of months, hopefully. I've been trying to write a long review of Boku no Natsume 2. And if I keep saying it every episode, No More Whoppers, maybe it will happen.
Whoa.
But yeah, it's being written. I just, get lazy and also have Yakuza games to play because I like those. What are you going to do? Sue me again?
No.
Class action suit. Maybe they'll send you a check for $8.
No.
Wouldn't that be nice, Alex?
Okay, look, $8 would be nice, I'm not going to lie, but I don't want to put you through that again.
Get yourself something nice.
With $8.
A sandwich.
I get a half a Burger King combo.
Oh,
huh?
come on. Okay. Yes. Was I also on Retronauts recently? Yeah, I was. So I recorded something. It's not out yet. It'll probably be out pretty soon. But yeah, I was on Retronauts. Yeah, that's a thing we do. And of course, my games from Bipedal Dog. Bipedal.dog is that website. Well, that's it then. Okay, Alex.
We did it.
Thanks for being a good sport.
Anytime.
Everybody else, keep your nose clean. We'll see you next time. Gold subscribers, stick around till after the show. I got the new Switch. Not Nintendo, the stick I'm going to swat you with.
So that would mean, like August, right?
Okay, fine. Again, I don't have it in front of me. I don't remember.
No, I don't have it in front of me either. I'm just doing math in my head. 2 plus 6 is 8.
Well, now I'm going to have to do the math.
And you can with that degree you just got. Pretty good.
It was sent in the mail. I don't have it yet. I do have the digital version.
Ooh. Do you have an NFT of your diploma?
No, Alex, I don't have an NFT of my diploma.
Could you get one?
No.
All right.
What are you going to do? You going to buy it?
Yeah.
You going to see if it appreciates in value?
Yes.
You going to wait till I'm dead?
No.
Then sell it?
No.
Uh-huh. Right?
Yeah. I'm not going to wait till I'm not going to wait till you're killed and then sell it. Wait, what did I say?
God damn it.
Yeah, right into the mic.
How's it going, everybody?
Perfect.
Well, you deserve it.
Well, that's the singer.